Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Sunday football review for round 2 of the 2022 NRL season. We saw 2 games of football for your Sunday football. We saw the Knights beat the Tigers 26 points to 4. And the Broncos beating the Bulldogs 16 points to 10. They're at Stadium Australia. To help me review both games from Sunday football was the great man himself, ProEnzo Vidz. Lorenzo, thanks for coming on for the review, mate. I really appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, bro, no worries. I think today was a good day of footy. Obviously, got one right, got one wrong in terms of tipping, but yeah, is what it is, and it was good. So keen.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, bro, how did you go with your tips on the weekend? I got them all right except for the Tigers game.
Well, I mean, same as last week, 4 out of 8. Pretty shocking, to be honest. I mean, I should be doing a lot better than that. So next week better be my week.
Oh, well, win some, you lose some, brother. But I just want to give a mention to everyone that's watching us in the live chat. We've got about 15 people at the moment tuned in for the Sunday football review. It's good to see the chat and a pretty good audience tonight. Obviously, we've got some pretty big competition. Obviously, the Matty John show is now on Fox, so pretty hard time to go live when you got that incredible show on. But yeah, dogs and Broncos, very entertaining game down there at Stadium Australia. We'll get to that in just a sec. But first, we're going to get into the review of the Knights and Tigers game. I don't think we'll spend long on that game. But mate, what did you make of that game between the Knights and the West Tigers?
Look, I thought Tigers would be a lot better. I thought they would keep the same competitiveness as what they were against the Storm last week. But, you know, it's one of those things where you can't trust them. Like, it's like they used all the energy last week and had nothing for this game. So I think the Tigers can't be trusted, and I think they're really stuck. And I think tonight's credit, they played really well. Like, I didn't think Knights would really – I knew Knights would be good, but I didn't think they'd get the win over Tigers. But, you know, just in terms of – because Ponga was out, and Ponga's obviously a big part of their team, and they don't do too well without Ponga. But, yeah, even without him, they played very well today. So, obviously, they've adjusted and have sort of found a brand of footy that they can suit and play well in. So, good on Knights for the win. And, look, Tigers are just awful. That's how you really
Mate, the Tigers were awful today, and the conditions suited the West Tigers as well. I was really disappointed with the way the Tigers played. I mean, for me, it's either the Tigers or the Raiders, the most disappointing teams over the weekend. The Tigers, for me, they were a good chance today, obviously with David Clemmer being ruled out, Caleb Ponga being ruled out. But it didn't matter with the Knights. Newcastle at the moment, they've got this mentality where if they defend their ass off, they would just score points. And the likes of Clifford, he's playing really well. Adam Clune's really fitted into that Knights team really well. Dane Gagai as well. And he got some guys at the bench. That Leo Thompson guy. Hang on, I'll get his exact name. What's his name? Yeah, Leo Thompson. Off the bench, he has been very good for the Knights. But, mate, what did you think of Newcastle today? I thought they were outstanding.
Yeah, look, I just thought they played really well. They played a good brand of footy that they can get used to and suit to, I guess. And like you said, I think Clifford played very well. He played well against the Roosters last week, and he's back at the same form. So he could be in for a big year if he keeps it up. I think as well, they're I've got to say that their left side is pretty good, where Gagai and Dominic Young is. That's a very good side there.
Oh, the right side, you mean? The right side.
Right side, yeah, not left. But yeah, just in general, Gagai's been really good for them, and Dominic Young's really improved. And
I think
there's lots of
Newcastle deserves. I reckon their fans. I reckon their fans should be pumped up. I mean, at the start of the year, I think me and you are in this list. ProEnzo, we had in our bottom four.
Yeah, I
From
did.
from what I've seen, the first two rounds, they are definitely not a bottom four team. They are a lot better than what they have been the first couple of rounds. They've been very good, the Knights, but I'm not going to fall in love with them yet. I'm not going to get on the Newcastle train just yet. It's been 2 rounds of footy. We can't get too keen on the Knights. I think they've done very well the first 2 rounds. Now, I tipped against them the first 2 rounds. Next week will be the ultimate test. They take on the reigning defending premiers, the Panthers at Bathurst. So that'll be a real good test for the Knights. But they've done very well the first 2 rounds. Full credit to them. And, mate, the West Tigers, last week against Melbourne, they were very competitive and they arguably should have won that game, but they sort of fell away from it. And then today, I know Tamo was out, but besides that, it was pretty identical to what the team was against Melbourne. Mate, what's going on at the Tigers? Why are they so shit? They're 0-2 again to start the season, and is Madge under enormous pressure once again?
Oh, yeah, I got to say, he's under a lot of pressure. Obviously, he keeps making these changes and keeps coming out saying that, that they're on the up and everything with their signings and everything. But, they're still getting the same results. There's still that side where they don't play to their – well, they don't compete consistently. They don't play to their best, and they just are not a good side overall. And I think Madge is a bit of a blame, to be honest, because I don't know if most of the players like playing under Madge. I think there's a bit of a divide, actually.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with the Tigers. If you're going to sign Oliver Gildart, if you're going to sign Jackson Hastings, if you're going to sign Tyrone Peachy, and you're going to start the year 0-2, questions are going to start to begin, and there's going to be a lot of questions on the coach, questions on the club and the culture and what they're producing out there at the Tigers. I like the Tigers, and I think we need them to be doing well. They have been dog shit since 2012. We need the Tigers to be doing well, but far out, man. I'm with you, man. I think Madge is the problem, and here's the thing. I want your opinion on this, Lorenzo. Now, obviously, I'm a big fan of Jackson Hastings, and I rate him very highly, and I think he's a quality player. They've got Luke Brooks there as well. Is it time that Jackson Hastings becomes the main man and he takes control and be the dominant half, and Luke Brooks takes a step back? Because it seems to me Luke Brooks is no longer able and he's no longer good enough to be the main man of that team.
Yeah, I think so. Because Brooks has been given a chance for how long? Like 7 years or something. So, and he hasn't been delivering at all. So, I think now it's time for someone like Hastings to stand up and be given that role of being the main half and controlling everything. So, I think that's a good call they make. Hastings to 7 and bring in Jock Madden. I think Jock Madden's a good young player. Should be in there instead of Brooks, in my opinion.
Jock Madden, I think he is on the cusp of making this team. I really do. But the question is, does Madge have the balls to drop Brooks? I mean, he did it a couple of times last year, but how long is Michael Maguire and the West Tigers coaching staff going to pull up with Luke Brooks' really quiet and poor performances? I don't know. Jackson Hastings coming into that team as a second. Oh, shit. I'm alive? Am I here?
Yeah, you're there, bro. Just cutting out a bit.
Sorry, bro. I just had a bit of a dodo problem. I think someone in the house here that I'm staying at is trying to download a game on the PlayStation, so that's why my connection was a bit dodgy. Sorry about that, guys. But as I was saying, if the Tigers are going to sign Jackson Hastings like they have, and if Hastings is going to be fiddle to that team, you're not going to get the best out of him.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry about the connection, guys. Hopefully it improves. Fucking thing shits me off. So yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You're just blurry. That's it. You're just blurry. That's it.
All right, sorry, bro. Like I said, someone that I'm staying with is trying to download a game, and obviously connecting problems with the internet. So I'm just going to turn my fucking phone off with the Wi-Fi so it doesn't connect, doesn't fuck it up. But, mate, the Tigers, if you're going to buy Jackson Hastings, he can't be the second fiddle to the team because Hastings is not a second fiddle player. Hastings needs to be the main man in charge. That's the problem with the Tigers. Hastings needs to be the dominant half.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, if you watch the Super League, anyone out there, you would see that he was doing very well being the main man for Wigan Warriors, and I think his form and for Salford as well, like Salford too. Yeah, his form there was very good, and how he was the main man. So I think Madge just got to give him that role of being the main person that directs the team and everything, because Brooks can't do it. He can't handle the pressure of doing that. So, and to be honest, I think Brooks is washed up too. So you got to go in a new direction, I guess.
I think Luke Brooks needs to be moved on and go elsewhere, man. The first 2 rounds, he didn't impress me one bit. Yeah, not good. And seriously, just let Hastings take control of this team. And I promise you one thing. If Hastings is the main man in charge, the Tigers win more games. Trust me, they will. They will win more games. But I must say this before we get into the try scores and stuff. Lorenzo, the Tigers game against the Warriors next week, that is a big game for the Tigers.
Oh, man, it's a toss of the coin game. Like, I really don't know who to tip, because you can legit flip one coin and then, it's either heads or tails pretty much. So, yeah, I don't know who I'm tipping. Going to wait till Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Now, like I said, my connection is a little bit below at the moment, so don't get too upset about it. I obviously got affected by the floods, and the connection everywhere I go right now is not going to be great, so I do apologise about that. But we'll go for the try scores now in the Knights and Tigers game, mate, and it'll start off real early for the Knights too. 3rd minute, Jake Clifford, first try of the game. Newcastle went left, a couple of offloads back to the right side of Clifford. Grubber kicks it through for himself. It comes off Hastings' hand, goes back to Clifford, and he scores. Pretty nice try from Jake Clifford.
Yeah, it was actually. It was. And I think he had a good start to the game, Clifford. So, yeah, that was a nice try.
Newcastle started well, 6-0 lead, and then we get to the 8th minute where Adam Clune put a cross-field kick over for Tyson Frizzell. Frizzell gets to the try line just before the ball goes dead. Nice try here from Tyson Frizzell.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a lucky try as well. So it was good to get back-to-back tries there.
Yeah, very nice try for the Knights. Knights 12-0 after 8 minutes gone. And then, mate, in the 31st minute, Tyrone Peachey got sin bin. There was too many penalties the Tigers gave away, and Peachey ended up with the ball, and Peachey the sin bin. Do you reckon that was a fair call?
Yeah, I guess so. Because when they won more than once, I think. So I think that's a fair call, and I've seen sin bins been given like that before too. So fair call.
Yeah, I think it was a fair call as well. Newcastle got a 14-0. Half time, Newcastle Knights 14-0 over the West Tigers. Mate, at half time, I actually thought the Tigers were still a slight chance of coming back into this game. But they only had about 38% possession, and the Knights had a lot of ball, and it was only 14-0. It could have been a whole lot more. At half time, did you give the West Tigers any chance, or did you think it was all over?
I had a chance. I gave them a chance like you did. I just didn't know if they would be able to control a game like the Knights were doing and how they would get back into it. I gave them a chance, but I think Knights had all the momentum. It was hard to see them lose from there.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think halftime scoreline was probably. I thought the Tigers at halftime were a chance of coming back, but they needed to be bloody perfect, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, let's get into the second half, mate. 47 best. God, it was a soft try. Newcastle go left. Kurt Mann to Clune to Best. Best just goes in and scores. James Roberts had a call or something, so he was going to score. Scores a nice try. Soft try, wasn't it?
I think you might have to repeat yourself because I couldn't hear you there. You kept cutting out.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, Bradman Best scores the first try in the second half, mate. Pretty soft try, wasn't it?
Yeah, that try. Yeah, I saw that. it was just a typical right side defense of the Tigers. They were struggling the whole game, and yeah, that was not good enough at all by Tigers.
Oh, yeah, very nice try there for the Newcastle Knights. Newcastle Knights, 18 points to 0. A very nice scoreline there. And then in the 57th minute, Dominic Young scores for the Knights. They go left to Clifford. They go right, I should say. Dominic Young scores in the corner. Mate, Dominic Young, I'm not sure what your opinion is of him, but gee, I thought he was very good today. He scored a very nice try there, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a good try. I saw that, and my opinion on him, well, I think last year, like, he wasn't that great. I thought he played some games and didn't really impress too much, but this year he could be going down as one of the most improved players in 2022. As of now, could be one of the most improved players this year.
He's definitely on track for that, the way he's playing at the moment. And then we get to the next try of the game, which it was a no try to Stefano for a knock on. Do you reckon that was a fair call? Did he knock the ball on, or do you reckon he scored it?
Yeah, he knocked on. It was pretty obvious, I think, in my opinion. I thought he scored it first because I think in fast motion you think it's a try, but when you're going slow, you can see him knocked on.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a try at first, and then I had a couple of looks at it, and I went, okay, maybe there is a little bobble in there, but I'm very unlucky for the Tigers to not get that, but fair enough. And then we get to 65th minute. Dan Gagai scored a very nice try. Clifford throws the ball, but Mamala went for intercept, knocks the ball back, and then Gagai scores. Fuck, it was a soft try.
Yeah, it just sums up the Tigers' defense, really. Their defense was all over the shop, and yeah, that was just the dominance of Knights the whole game, going through their defense like that.
Yeah, very dominant. And then at the end there, the West Tigers scored a try, 74th minute for Ken Mamalo. And full time, Newcastle Knights 26, West Tigers 4. Newcastle, very dominant. They look very good, the Knights, to start the season. West Tigers really poor. Mate, who would your top 3 players on ground be from the Knights and Tigers game?
Yeah, number 3, I think I'll go with Jake Clifford at number 3. Thought he had a very good game. Number 2, number 2 is tough. I reckon Dane Gagai for number 2. I think he was very solid out there. And then my man of the match, there's a couple, but I think I'll go man of the match to be Adam Clune. I think Clune really stood up today and had a good game.
Yeah. All right. I reckon one of these selections from me are going to surprise you, bro. My number 3 is the Newcastle Knights bench prop, Leo Thompson. I was very impressed with this young man on the bench. I thought he had a really strong game. Leo Thompson's my number 3. Number 2, I'm going to go with Tyson Frizzell. I thought Frizzell had a really good game in the back row. Scored a very nice try. Number 1, my man of the match is going to Jake Clifford. I thought Jake Clifford's control was very good. I thought his kicking game was outstanding. And I thought he was best player on the field, bro. So Jake Clifford is my man of the match. Newcastle Knights beat the West Tigers 26-4. Newcastle go to 2-0 to start the season. West Tigers go to 0-2 to start the year. Not good for the Tigers. Good job for the Newcastle Knights though. Now let's get into the other game down there at ANZ Stadium. Broncos 16, Bulldogs 10. This was a very, very solid game of rugby league. I really enjoyed this game, ProEnzo Vidz, mate. What did you think about the Bulldogs and the Broncos game?
Well, I think, both teams looked like they improved a lot in their defense. I mean, looking at Broncos' defense was good, and looking at the Bulldogs' defense, it was very good as well. I think both sides of the attack was not bad, but I think with the ball, Broncos looked more dangerous to the ball than what the Bulldogs did, I thought, at times. I thought, players like Albert Kelly were very good. He had a very good game, I thought, for the Broncos. Reynolds was okay, but he had some defensive issues as well. But he'll get used to the whole team dynamics and the next couple of weeks. The Bulldogs weren't too bad either. I thought Burton was very good, even though he got tackled or got stopped a couple of times. I thought that both teams were very good. I think it was a very solid game. Just Broncos were a bit too good in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it was a very, very nice game of football down there at ANZ Stadium. Nice conditions. Crowd wasn't great, but I guess that's what's going to happen when you play at ANZ Stadium. You're not going to get a big crowd on a Sunday night at fucking 6:15. If this game was at Belmore or at Bank West, you might have got more of a crowd. But not a bad game of footy overall. The Broncos winning away from home, good to see. They got a nice win over the Bunnies in round one. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. And now they took on the Bulldogs. They went from Suncorp down to Sydney. They got the job done down there. So didn't have to be pretty, but they got the job done, mate. Broncos 2-0 to start the year. Have you been impressed by the Broncos?
Yeah, I'd say I have been definitely, because they seem to look a lot better with the ball. Their attack looks stronger. Seems like they also play very well in terms of defense, and I see there's a lot of improvement. Like you tell from that Souths game without Reynolds, that there's a lot of positives in that side, and I think some players individually have improved as well. I think players like Kurt Capel have bring a good influence there. I think Haas is looking good again for another season, and it's a good team they have that's developing. I think so. I have been impressed.
Yeah, no, I think they have improved. Their defense has been a lot better too. The defense has definitely improved a lot as well. Bulldogs, they were very poor last week in attack, but they really improved that a little bit today. I thought they scored 10 points, but they could have easily scored a few more tries. But I think execution is what the Bulldogs need to work on. They were good. And I thought they tried really hard tonight. I thought it was a good game. It could have went either way at the end, but Broncos ended up getting the 2 points. Let's get into the game, mate. So we'll start off in the 12th minute. Bulldogs, what a start. Braden Burns, first try of the game. Bulldogs go right through Avarillo. Gives it to Dufty. Dufty gives it to Burns. Burns scores. Nice try for the Dogs to start the game.
Yeah, it was. It was actually. It was good to see the Bulldogs getting the scoreboard early, because they needed the first try and needed to start well. So good try.
Very nice start there for the Dogs. Burton misses the kick. Bulldogs 4-0 after 12 minutes gone. We get to the 17th minute there, where Corey Oates scored the next try. Albert Kelly with a chip kick sort of thing over to Oates in the corner, and Oates scores his 100th try for the Broncos. So that was good to see.
Yep.
Very nice try there. Reynolds missed a kick, and we're leveled up at 4-4. Mate, what'd you make of that try, Albert Kelly? Eyes up footy, little kick for Oates. Very nice try.
It was actually excellent. Like, it was just a very smart kick over to Oates' wing, and yeah, I think that's a very good try to sort of score on your 100th try. So yeah, that was very nice footy.
I just love how Albert Kelly was up in the line running, and then put that little kick in. It was just brilliant play. It was reminded me of old school footy, you know, the old little chip kick for the corner back in 2008, 2009, or back then. It was such a good try to see. And we go to 4-4 after 17 minutes in, and then we get to the 21st minute of the game, where I thought Matt Burton scored for sure. Tony Staggs with an incredible try-saving tackle. He held him up in goal. Mate, what'd you make about that play? That was a big moment in the game.
It was a big moment. Like, it was just a moment that really sort of changed the game, because if he scored that, it would have been maybe, you know, a locked-in sort of score around the end of the game. So it was a very good effort by Staggs to hang on there. So that was very big.
Did very well there. So remains at 4-4 still, and then we get to the 32nd minute, where Staggs took out Addo Carr. Bulldogs get a penalty. Burton takes the 2, misses the 2. That hurt the Dogs. And then, mate, missing that penalty goal, they would have been up at half time. Pretty big moment in the game not to convert that.
Yeah, it was actually, because they needed to sort of get on the board and sort of hang in there. So it was a good play.
Yeah. A half time, and it ends up being 4 apiece. Pretty good first half of footy. I thought both teams could have scored a couple more tries than what they had done, but overall, mate, the first half was quite good.
Yeah, it was definitely the balance of both teams. Both teams win the game, and I think it was a very good defensive sort of match. Obviously, we wanted to see a bit more points, but the game was ball-based on defense in the first half, so I liked it personally.
Yeah, and then we get to the second half, and in the 47th minute, Jeremy Marshall-King from dummy half, very soft try, ends up going over to score. Poor defense there from the Broncos. Bulldogs go to 10-4 up after 47 minutes gone. Marshall-King from dummy half, mate. What'd you make of that try? Pretty soft, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was poor defense by Brisbane. They should have definitely held their line there and stopped that, because you know that's a try that anyone could really stop, to be honest. And I want to say also, I think JMK or Marshall King should run a lot more I think his running game is actually pretty good. A good thing about his game. If he runs more, it could be more of a bit of an effective hooker, I reckon.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I think Muscle King does need to run the ball a bit more. It looks more dangerous when he does that. So not bad from the Dogs. Dogs go out to a 10-4 lead. And then in the 59th minute, a no try to Stags. Reynolds throws the ball. It goes through the legs. It was an unbelievable ball from Reynolds through the legs. It reminded me of Justin Hodges against the Titans about fucking 10 years ago. And unfortunately, Stags drops it over the line. That was a stinger, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It would have been a very nice try if that was all clear. It was like rugby seven style, basically, that pass.
No, it was very unlucky. Stags reminded me of Stefano in the previous game where he dropped the ball over the line. Literally identical. Literally the same bloody thing. But unfortunately, can't bloody score more sometimes. It is what it is. And then we get to the 51st minute. In my opinion, this was the game changer. Herbie Farmworth, one-on-one strip on Braden Burns. Herbie just runs away and scores the friggin' try. Mate, this try was very important, and then it went to 10-all after that. Very, very big moment in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I thought there was more than one person in the tackle at first, but no, it was all clear, and it was very smart by Farnworth. Good try. Good try.
You love to see it, and then we go to 10-all, and then we get to what was it? Fucking hang on, where is it? We get to the 64th minute. Herbie Farmworth scores his second try of the game. Now, at first, watching this live at first, I thought they were going to fucking call this back for a no try. I really did. And then what happened was I thought it was an obstruction, but it ended up being all clear because it was a defensive decision from, I believe, Braden Burns. Once again, 64th minute, Herbie Farmworth gets his second try of the game. Broncos scrum play, Albert Kelly to Tessie New, the Farmworth. Farmworth runs away and scores his second try of the game. Mate, big moment in the game to take the lead. And, mate, what a try.
Yeah, it was a very nice try. I mean, I think we saw that the Bulldogs on the back foot a bit. They were struggling to sort of hang in there. But, Broncos just exposed them. And, it was a try that helped them get in the lead for sure.
Big try. And it took the Broncos out to a 16-10 lead. And then, now, I want your opinion on this, bro. I'm a little bit annoyed about this call. 75th minute. The Broncos lost their captain's challenge because what happened was Patrick Carrigan was putting pressure on Matt Burton, and the Broncos were challenging it because they don't believe it was a late shot. Now, in my opinion, watching it live and watching a couple of replays, there is no way in the world Patrick Carrigan hit him late. He was committed to the tackle. How is someone at full speed gonna pull out of that? I mean, I don't know about you, ProEnzo, but in my opinion, there was nothing wrong with Paddy Carrigan's shot on Burton. That should have been Broncos' ball. That should not have been a challenge unsuccessful on a Bulldogs penalty. That was a really tough call.
Yeah, it was because I think it wasn't that high or anything. Like if it was high around the neck, I would have understood it. But exactly. But it was mainly around the chest. I mean, no one's going to really pull out of that. So it was a bit of a strange call, but I guess if they want to be consistent with the late tackles and everything, then that's what it's going to be, unfortunately.
I don't reckon it was even late either, because if you watch it, it's probably like a 2-second after he hits the ball, and I wouldn't say 2 seconds is late. Maybe a second and a half. For me, there's no way in the world that's a late hit. He hit him clean. He ran at full speed. There was no way he could pull out of that. That was a tough call. Broncos were dudded there, but Bulldogs on the attack, they couldn't score. Very unlucky not to score a couple of tries. They should have scored a few tries, the Dogs, but they didn't. And then Lorenzo, the ending of the game. Burton, Addo Carr. Addo Carr's away. I'm thinking to myself, they're going to fucking score and get this golden point. Kicks it back on the inside. And guess who? Albert Kelly picks it up. Broncos hold on. Bro, when Burton threw it to Addo Carr, did you think Addo Carr was going to score? Did you see a try coming? What was your reaction to that?
I was like, oh, here we go. Addo Carr with the pace. I think he's going to get there in the end. And when he kicked it back inside, I was like, no, they're not going to score now. But I thought when he was away in the open space, I thought he was going to score. But when he kicked it, I was like, no, they're not going to get there. Kelly saves the day.
The defense was coming across, weren't they? And then they kicked it. I thought Duffy was going to score. Then Albert Kelly just right place, right time. He came from the other side of the fucking field to get there too. What an effort.
Yeah, amazing. What a saviour for the Broncos to get the win. So that was a big play.
You love to see it. No, that was brilliant from the Broncos. And then we get the full time. The Broncos have beaten the Bulldogs at ANZ Stadium, 16 points to 10. Mate, what would your top three players be from the game? Obviously, both teams had a lot of good players, and some of them were very shit and very average. But who would your top three players be from the Dogs and Broncos game tonight?
Number three is going to be a bit of a surprising one, but I think he had a good game. I think Corey Waddell gets number three for mine. I thought he was very good for the Bulldogs. Probably his best game he's ever played for the club, to be honest. I mean, there's not many good games I can really think of him playing for them. So, yeah, Waddell gets number three for mine. Number two, I think number two would have to go to someone like Matt Burton. I think some of his kicks today were very good. I think his torpedo kicks in the air were traveling the Broncos back three quite a bit. So I think he had a good game. And number one, my man of the match has to go to Albert Kelly. I could have given it to the Stags, but I think Kelly deserves more credit. He was everywhere in the game, obviously set up a try and sort of saved the game too. So Kelly for mine gets that number one.
Yeah, all right. Well, for me, ProEnzo Vidz, I'm going to go number three. I'm with you, mate. I think Corey Waddell gets number three. I thought Waddell did have a really good game, and I thought it was good to see. My number two is actually going to surprise you a little bit, ProEnzo, but my number two is going to go to Corey Oates. I thought Corey Oates off the wing had a really strong game. His kick returns were good, and I thought he had a really good game. And number one, mate, different to you again. In my opinion, this bloke was best on the field, and I don't reckon it was even close. My man of the match is Herbie Farmworth. He scored 2 tries. Yeah. He changed the game. One-on-one strip to level the game up. Scored the try that won the game. And he ran for 262 running meters tonight. I thought Herbie Farmworth was absolutely outstanding. So Herbie Farmworth is my man of the match. I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call, actually. I could have given him a place as well when I think about it now. But, yeah, he had a very good game for Farmworth.
I thought he played really well, mate. Just quickly, Adam Reynolds' first game for the Broncos Adam Reynolds' first game for the Broncos as the new halfback, the big off-season recruit. What'd you make of Reynolds? What'd you make of Adam Reynolds' performance?
Yeah, look, I think you can tell by the performance it's going to take a bit of time for him to sort of fit in every week. But no, look, he was all right. I think he actually had a pretty decent game. He was doing a job out there. Defensively, might need to work on that a bit, but his attack was good as well. So yeah, he went all right.
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit underdone, if I'm being honest with you. I thought defensively he was really struggling in defense. Kicking game was very good as expected. Goal kicking, 2 from 3. Probably like a 6 out of 10 or something for Adam Reynolds for me. I thought he was fine. Mate, round 2, done and dusted. Very good round of footy. ProEnzo Vidz, thanks for coming on the review. And I just want to say, mate, next week, if the Broncos and Cowboys both show up like they did on the weekend, we could get a blockbuster next Sunday between the Broncos and the Cowboys. That could be a big game next week. It will be a big game anyway, but fuck me. If the Cowboys play like they did against Canberra the other night, and if the Broncos do what they've done the first 2 rounds, I think we're going to get a massive Queensland derby on Sunday next week.
Oh, yeah, that would be huge. I'm looking forward to that game, actually. It's a Sunday footy as well, so I think that makes it even better. A sunny Suncorp, hopefully, so that'll be a fantastic game, actually. I'm looking forward to that.
Mate, round 3's got some big games. You've got the Dragons and the Sharks. You've got the big rivalry there Thursday night. Tigers, Warriors, both are desperate for a win. Rabbitohs, Roosters, the biggest rivalry in the NRL. South's looking for their first win. That's a big game there. Penrith and Newcastle, both 2-0, looking good. Melbourne and Parramatta, that'll be an interesting game as well. Canberra and Gold Coast, very interesting. Broncos, Cowboys is huge. And Manly Dogs, Manly need to turn around it as well. So that'll be a big game for Manly.
Absolutely. You need to win that for sure.
But, mate, I just want to thank you very much for coming on the review tonight. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no worries, bro. Thanks for having me on again. I think it was a good week of footy in general. And, this was a good day of footy as well. So thank you.
Well, mate, thank you. And I'm looking forward to round number 3. It's going to be a big round. We've got 3 massive rivalry games. Cronulla versus St. George. St. George versus Cronulla. South versus Sydney Roosters. And Broncos and Cowboys on the Sunday. Massive round. I could be at Broncos Cowboys yet. I won't know till Tuesday, but I could be going to that game. I hope I do. But anyway, everyone, Thanks for watching the Sunday Football Review. Go check out ProEnzo Vidz' YouTube channel. The link's in the description below. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you all in the next one.